Hi everybody, this is Noelle for Petitti Garden Centers, and it's June. I can't believe it. And it is Perennial Gardening Month. So we are here at our Oakwood Village store in Stella's gorgeous runway. We talk about Stella a lot, but we love her and she does such a great job finding really good perennial combinations. So when you walk in, you get a lot of color, but you also get a lot of inspiration of what will grow well together. And June, you start to see the lilies really start to bust open, look really, really nice in the garden. And of course, we've got plenty of lilies to show you. I feel like every year at this time we talk about the lilies, but the shorter versions here, these are all from the Lily Look series. They're Asiatic lilies. So Asiatic lilies, as beautiful as they are, they're not fragrant. So just so you know, but the Asiatic lilies are going to have those short kind of pointier leaves, and the flowers are going to face up typically. Oriental lilies are going to have thicker leaves, and the flowers are going to be facing out at you, okay? And they're the fragrant ones too. So Asiatics here, beautiful bicolor here. These are all lion. So they're in the Tiny Looks series. I think that's how it is. And so this is Tiny Lion, but look at that bicolor, really, really gorgeous. And if you plant them with this coral bell, so look at that heuchera. This is Midnight Rose. We use this a lot. It's one of the really, the prettiest as far as modeling is concerned on the foliage. It's got that really dark, dark, dark purple color, almost bronzy, but the rose modeling throughout that plant is really, really pretty. So those two together, gorgeous. She's got some of the Verbena bonariensis. This verbena is really unique in the respect that it grows very tall in the garden, usually about 2.5 to 3 foot tall in the garden. It is a great pollinator plant. It also reseeds itself. Sometimes it comes back from the base, the root base, but other times you do want it to drop seed so you get more and more every year. But a really, really cool plant if you're looking for something very airy that can kind of float on top of, let's say, the lilies or the coral bells, because they're so dense and so bold, and then having something like that airy verbena is really, really cool. So that's great. Verbena, deer resistant. Lilies, not deer resistant. Make sure you protect your lilies. Coral bells, I get 50-50 with the coral bells, and I always tell everybody, pet your coral bells before you purchase. The denser, the heavier they are, the fuzzier they are, the better resistance they're going to have to browsing. The smoother they are, not so much resistance to browsing. So just be aware of that too. Let's walk a little bit more. We've got some daisies here, and I think, again, daisies coupled with, love this plant. This is your cat mint, okay, or Nepeta. Great combination right here. You could pop one of those really pretty Lily Looks lilies right here. This is actually called Tiny Diamond with the white center, and then look at that kind of rose pink edge of the petals. Really, really pretty. These three, gorgeous in the landscape. Very, very deer resistant on the cat mint. Very deer resistant with the Shasta daisies. And I think this is Amazing Daisy. This is the PW1, I believe. Hold on. Oh, it's Whoopsie-Daisy, Whoopsie-Daisy, and then the lily. So again, with this combo, you'd have to protect the lily, but the other two, no problem whatsoever. Now, if you're wondering about Shasta daisies, Taylor and I did a video on Shasta daisies, and there's new varieties every year. But some of your better varieties have been around for a very, very long time. And check it out, because we have that video available on YouTube, also on PetittiGardenCenter.com. You can look at, Taylor made this cool infographic, so you can look at the daisy variety and what height and kind of shape it makes as well in the garden. There's a lot to choose from for sure, for sure. I wanted to move on. Look at what's blooming. So the Buddleia, these are the Buzz Buddleia series. This one's sky blue, really, really awesome. Early bloomers, obviously, you can see them really budded up, really looking nice right now. Buzz is going to be one of the more compact varieties, so probably around 3 foot when it does grow and fill out. Definitely has more of an upright vase shape to it. Pugster is going to be another variety kind of back in the nursery, a little bit more dense, very, very thick branching on that one. So kind of a different habit, more of kind of a weeping habit, if you will, sprawling and weeping. But these plants, again, awesome deer resistance, excellent for the pollinators. You'll see them really start flocking once we get the pollinators awake this morning, because we're out here a little bit early. And then look at that yellow Augustaki. Oh my gosh. So this is also known as false Aesop. This plant is in the mint family. It has a wonderful, fresh, minty smell to it. The pollinators absolutely love it. The deer do not. So again, a really cool combo with the sky blue and the kudos yellow Augustaki. Gorgeous. And 3 foot and about 2 foot here. So nice little layered combination there will work really, really well for you in the sun. We are in the sun. So all of these plants I've mentioned so far, really good sunny perennial combos that'll do really nicely for you. And again, look at daisies. So this is actually a new daisy for us. This is Sweet Birdie, really, really gorgeous, really thick leathery foliage. Again, good attribute on the Shasta daisies for less browsing or no browsing, really, to be quite honest. And then look at that beautiful flower. Little bit of smaller petal in the inside near the eye, and then those beautiful white rays. Really, really pretty. So look for your daisies right now. You can't go wrong with the daisies. Gosh, out here in perennials, everything is, it just seems like it's all popping into bloom at the same time. So we're right by the yarrow or Echolea, and oh my gosh, this is a great plant, especially for your pollinators, especially for that aroma if you're looking for aromatics out there. Oh my gosh, it's a wonderful plant. There's so many wonderful colors, everything from Apricot Delight, beautiful, kind of like more of a coral color as it starts, but then it fades a little bit more, so you get those peachy tones in it too. Moonshine's the classic with that silvery foliage, really strong stems, beautiful yellow flowers. We've got, this is Lemon Summer too, so a little bit lighter in color, starts with a deeper yellow and then kind of fades to that light lemon color. So that's really cool. And then pomegranate is back here. So if you're looking for kind of a cerise red, so really, really pretty, but good deer resistant plant, great pollinator. Again, you'll see yarrows used in teas and different things too. So just a neat, diverse perennial for sunny spots. Boy, they love the sun. And then I wanted to show you, if you're looking for your milkweeds, we do have a white called Ice Ballet. So look for that. We also have the common milkweed here, and you can see it. It's just starting to bud up, and Taylor and I will start looking for caterpillars here pretty soon on this guy. So look for those right by the butterfly bush, and lots and lots for the pollinators to look out for. This cool geranium, okay, so this is a hardy geranium, a perennial geranium, true geranium, right? It's called Boom Chocolata. I think Proven Winners is getting very creative with their names. So you'll find some really interesting names out there, but look at this dark foliage. And it might be a little bit hard to see because of how bright it is out this morning. But there's a little bit of green undertone to it, but it has that bronzy purple cast to it. Nice mounded geranium, not too big, it doesn't get overgrown. Some of the older perennial geranium varieties used to get a little bit big and a little bit floppy in the garden. So Boom Chocolata is probably around that like 12-inch mark. mark with all of the foliage full, and then look at those flowers. So really nice kind of just past periwinkle into the purple category. Really pretty, very profuse. But again, whenever you can find perennials that have some good foliage color to them, that's always going to break up all the green, right? And geraniums especially have a great foliage texture to them. So this might be one you want to try. You can grow these in full sun. You can put them in part shade too. I wouldn't put them in too much shade, fuller shade that is, because you'll start to lose some of that color on the foliage. So give them some sun and really enjoy them. They'll do great. We were telling you that all these perennials are just busting out, and look at the red hot pokers. Some people call them torch lilies. Nephofia is the botanical name. This variety is called flamenco. Flamenco does have kind of a series of colors as it blooms. So you'll get oranges, yellows, creams. So it's really a cool plant. Great plant for those sunny, drier areas. It does really, really nicely. And the other thing that I love about it is that when they're done blooming, make sure you know, this flower is really more than 75% spent. But when your flowers are 75% spent on your perennials, cut them back. So take this stalk and go all the way down as far as you can go into the foliage, and that'll give that plant more energy to produce more for you. They really can produce more cycles of bloom. And when it's not in bloom, it looks like a grass. You know, it has that ornamental grass look. So that's really, really cool out there in the garden, especially if you're looking for hot colors, because boy, the Nephofia can really help you kind of bring in those really warm colors to the garden. And also, talking about sunshine, look at your classic Stella d'Oro daylily, one of the most compact out there, one of the best repeat bloomers, really, really beautiful color. Again, in the lily family, folks, you've got to protect the lilies because the deer will eat them. Just be aware of that. But again, you can't beat the color and the repeat bloom. That's why this is such a dependable perennial plant out there in the landscape. So this coupled with more warm colored plants or cooler colored plants like the catmint that I showed you earlier, and I think my favorite still is Persian blue, but that would make a great pairing as well. And then look at behind me, the Coreopsis is all starting to pop too. You've got so many different colors of Coreopsis, and Angelo talks about these plants. They're mostly from native stock, so they are nativars because they are cultivated varieties, but you've got double blooming types, you have single blooming types, you've got pinks and reds and oranges and yellows, and they really are just some of the best repeat blooming perennials out there. Don't get me wrong, you want to cut them back once they've really bloomed out, that 75% again, but cut them back, cut them down, you'll see new buds underneath, and then they'll go ahead and they'll repeat bloom for you. So stay on top of your Coreopsis, and all these are great for the sun and those warm colors. We're in the shade section now of perennials, and we had to show you this coral bell. It is called Mahogany Monster, and look at these leaves. Look at how big they are. Now, this one has a really good texture. It's very fuzzy, it's thicker. I would say better deer resistance on this one versus, again, some of the softer, sleeker varieties. So again, pet your coral bells before you purchase, okay? Really cool color and plant. And then look at it. When you put this really bold texture and color next to more of a soft green ferny texture in the astilbe, this is going to make a great combo. Now, this astilbe is called Fennel. Fennel is one of the best reds, one of the well-known reds. It's almost a true red. It has a little bit of cherry to it, but really beautiful combo. And then look at Pink Fireworks right behind it. This is a newer variety, but obviously a little bit taller astilbe. So with astilbes, folks, there are usually about 3 different types of astilbe. Don't get me wrong, they all bloom in summer, but there's early blooming like fennel, okay? And then there's mid-season blooming and also late season. So through the month of June and into July, you'll find that astilbe will come into flower, you know, dry on the stem and then kind of go out, if you will. And it's great because if you can come and shop early, mid, and late astilbe, no problem. You're gonna have color for a long time through the midsummer growing season in the shade. And that's hard to find. It really is, because a lot of your shade flowers are gonna be early season, more of like a spring ephemeral, but the astilbe really do a great job of taking you through the middle of the summer in the shade. One thing you have to remember with astilbe is they really do like moist soil. So that's great for us, right? With our clay soils, you want them to be in a moist area, not wet, right? Not puddling, but you want it to have moist soil and continually moist soil. Don't let your astilbe dry out. That's the one problem with astilbe, is they cannot take drought, okay? So keep that in mind when you're planting. So many beautiful colors of astilbe you can see, and Taylor's gonna kind of pan around here. Look at the white. I'm gonna show you this one, white wings, I think. Oh no, this is Deutschland. But look at how beautiful that is, airy. And if you need that color, you know, or brightness in the shade garden, oh my gosh, white astilbe, tall white astilbe would be absolutely wonderful. And then I'm gonna have Taylor pan over here because the hosta are starting to bloom. So we're getting lots of different varieties of hosta in bloom, just starting up, really, really beautiful. And you just can't beat, again, in the shade, you can't beat that foliage color and texture. This is Sum and Substance, so this is like a classic, beautiful, big hosta. But that limey green and that huge, almost heart-shaped leaf, but really, really cool contrast to something like a very light white and green variegated variety. And I think this is Miss America. Yeah, so this is Shadowland Miss America. So this is an up and coming hosta. People are starting to notice some of these newer varieties having, you know, good sun tolerance, still being able to produce some really clean colors, whites and greens, you know, for part shade, and also some sun too. So keep that in mind. It's just lots of options in the hosta family. We're back in the nursery now. We've moved from the perennial section into the woodies, right? So the woody plant material. And I just wanted to show you this plant because it's one of the easiest plants to grow. And it goes so well as kind of a backdrop to some of your blooming perennials. Gives you a lot of foliage texture, but also a lot of foliage color. This is Sorbaria, and sometimes they call it Serbian, or let me think about this. False, it's like a false spirea, but it's, anyway, Sorbaria is the botanical name. And this variety is called Mr. Mustard. So it is a proven winner. It's pretty cool. I've been watching the foliage color kind of change through the season. And Sorbaria, the newer foliage really does come out a little bit more pinky, goes into more of a yellow, and then you get a green cast, a little bit of a burgundy cast too. But cool plant, about 3 foot tall, 3 foot wide. Really pretty white kind of flowers, similar to the spirea or astilbe that we were showing you. So again, look for this plant. I think it's just a really good one to go with a lot of different color and perennials out in the garden. And as far as that's concerned, this would couple with things like your hydrangea, which are all in bloom. So we're going to show you some of the macrophyllus that look absolutely gorgeous right now. And yeah, great combo. I'm right by this variegated Korean dogwood. It's called Wolf's Eyes. The color, again, and the variegated foliage is just absolutely gorgeous. Plus, it's blooming. Your Kusa dogwoods or Korean dogwoods bloom later in the season than your Floridian dogwoods, which are the native, okay? So sometimes the natives get frostbite or what have you if we have late frost. But the kusas come out later and you rarely have a problem with them blooming. And the foliage is just so killer. I absolutely love it. It's just a great plant. This is a compact dogwood. You're closer to about 15 foot tall when it is full grown. So up there. And then we have a delivery truck beeping at us. And then we also have a broad sort of vase-shaped canopy. So it'll open up more vase-shaped. I should go like that. And looking at about 10 to 12 across, okay? But beautiful variegated foliage. This is really, really cool. Got to protect them, you know, a little bit from deer browsing and things when they're young. But once they really start to take off, you don't have to worry about it. But great, cool foliage. We're over by some of the macrophylla hydrangeas I was talking to you about, and this is blue jangles. This is going to be one of your more compact, really beautiful blues, and this blue is super, super vibrant. It is absolutely gorgeous right now. You have to come and check it out. And then if you want to do a little bit more of a patriotic color scheme, you can add that Petitti knockout. It's a really pretty red coupled with this blue. It's just gorgeous, and they'll do very, very nicely for you. Blue jangles can take some sun. It really can do a very good job in sunny spots. So just be aware of that. You might get some crispy edges here and there if you don't get enough moisture to the root system, but it can take some sun and it can pair very, very nicely with that Petitti knockout right in front. Good sunny area, let's say eastern exposure or maybe even a western exposure, and you'll be ready to go with your reds and blues. We are by another macrophylla hydrangea. This is Let's Dance Lovable, and I should have mentioned blue jangles is part of that Let's Dance series. So whenever you see Let's Dance hydrangeas, that means that they're repeat blooming types, okay? So they're newer breeds that have that ability to just kind of keep on budding and blooming for us. Blue jangles has been around quite a bit. Lovable is actually new, and Lovable looks like mixture of colors. So you could get your pinks and your blues and your purples all on the same hydrangea. The flower petals are a little bit unique here where they're a little bit pointy. So it has a different look to it as far as that mop head is concerned. It's considered to be compact. It's going to get 3 to 4 foot tall and wide, if I could talk, in the garden for you. Again, part day of sun is really, really great. So that eastern exposure is really nice for them. And if you pair your mac with a sweet spire or Itea, which is this plant right here, this one's called Scentlandia. And boy, this is a great native plant for us. Really, really fragrant flowers here, flowering spikes that come out and then kind of droop down. So really pretty flowering accent back there. And then your Iteas get awesome fall color. So look for those plants as well. They can go in that part sun, part shade type aspect as well. They can go in more sun too. So really look for these two. I like this combo together a lot. Remember, it's the beginning of June, but you still have time to plant your herbs, plant your veggies. Great time to do it. Honestly, I get worried about our weather in May, and it's so up and down and erratic. And this May has been actually kind of dry, so everybody remember to water thoroughly. Water your plants thoroughly once a week if they're in the ground, okay? About 1 inch of water per week, but you want a deep, thorough watering. That's why we talk about drip irrigation or soaker hoses, those types of deep watering. That really works well for the plants. So the root systems go down. But remember that. So it's not a bad time to plant at the beginning of June. It's actually a great time. Soil is warm. Just make sure you're watering well after planting. And even make sure the plants are hydrated before you plant as well. And it's a great time to do it. So herbs, plenty of herbs. Oh, basil, you know, can't go wrong. And then plenty of herbs through this area. Your chives, your mints, your sages, your whatever you're looking for. We've got it right now. And also eucalyptus too. We've got plenty of eucalyptus. If anybody's wanting to do some cuts or dries of eucalyptus too, that's always a great aromatic plant to have on hand, and of course very deer resistant. And if you don't want to plant and you just want to grow in containers, plenty of tomatoes still ready to go, ready to grow. And look at, you've got plenty of flowers and fruit that are already started for you. So this big boy would do real nicely if you want a nice slicer out there. And June is a great time for tropicals too. So if you haven't added some tropical color, maybe even some combo color, and we'll talk about some of the annual combos that are available, but bougainvillea, still great plant, sort of sprawling woody vine for this plant. You can put these in hanging baskets, you can put them in window boxes, all different types of containers. They really are an awesome repeat bloomer. Very, very good for the hummingbirds. They love those little white trumpets in the center. And then look at these dipladenia. Talk about a great hummingbird plant right there, those huge red trumpets. And of course they come in other colors, white and pink as well. But the dipladenias are gonna be the shorter of the two families, mandevilla, dipladenia. Dips are gonna be shorter, more bushy, and also have some trailing to them too. So really pretty spilling plants and looking great. Some of the other colors right here, the reds, the whites, and the pinks are still available. So look for your tropicals. If you need a solution for those definitely brighter areas, sunny areas, hot areas on the porch, patio, deck, what have you, the tropical plants are always going to be a great solution for that. And then check out the combos across the way. We love these petunia combos through here. Look at the yellow petunia, the bicolor pink and yellow calibrachoa, and the verbena. Great combination for pollinators, especially little papyrus right in the center there. Oh gosh, I already forgot the name of this one. Great Expectations? No. Great Escape. There we go. So look for this combo. And then we like this one too. This is just a little bit more pastel colors, kind of a limey yellow petunia, peachy apricot pink calibrachoa, and look at that blue lobelia in there. A little bit of a purple shade with the papyrus as well. Oh, so cool. And then Above and Beyond, we absolutely love this combination. You'll see this around in different communities. They use Above and Beyond, which is a combination of Proven Winner supertunias. You have got either fuchsia or paradise. I don't remember which one of this one is. Bubblegum, and this one is silver berry. I was going to say silver bell, but silver berry. Thank you, Taylor. With that papyrus. So this is always a great combo. Will flow and bloom and do awesome for you all through the season. So happy June. Let's get growing. Everything's busting out in color, and enjoy.